Y'all, watch me make these Philly cheesesteak sliders for my brother's surprise farewell party. So first of all, you want to start off with chopping up your onions. You can use yellow, white, or even red onions if you want to. These are onions that I had, so this is what I used. So you want to go ahead and roughly chop them just like that. And you can use the vegetable chopper that's linked in my showcase if you want to too. But I just used the knife because that's what I had on hand. But you want to go ahead and roughly chop them just like that. I made about 50 sliders, so this video will be broken down into two separate sections of me making them about 25 at a time. So for one set of sliders, I cut up a whole bell pepper. I had an orange one, but you can use red, yellow, green. It don't matter. I just had an orange bell pepper, and I roughly sliced it and then chopped it up as well. You can also use the vegetable chopper for this if you have one, because it'll make it easier, especially if you're making a lot of sliders and you don't feel like chopping it up. That'll come in handy. Then in a cast iron or a regular saute pan, you want to go in with a little bit of olive oil. Add in your onions and your bell peppers, whatever kind that you use. Sprinkle in some seasonings. I had some Dash table blend seasoning, and then I used that Greek all-purpose seasoning, and then I went ahead and mixed it together just like that and let that come to a sizzle, so that way you won't be crunching on your onions and your bell peppers. You want them to sweat a little bit and cook down, so that way once you add your meat, it'll all come together for your sliders, and it's going to be delicious. So once your onions and your bell peppers cooked down, you want to go in with your steakums meat. That's what I use for this recipe. You can also use Philly cheesesteak meat. Whatever you have, just use it. But I did go in with the thin sliced steakums, and I just added them directly into the pan, and then I went in and seasoned them afterwards. So I used an entire box for this recipe. Again, I was making about 25 sliders. For one half, and then another half I used another box, but I used the entire pack. I went in with a little bit of seasoned salt and then an all blend Dash season. It's like a salt free, so it won't be super salty and things like that. Y'all know beef typically generates its own oil, but I did add a little bit of olive oil to the bottom. So you want to make sure that you drain off all of that excess oil, so your sliders won't be oily and people won't be biting into grease. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, once it cooks down, it'll look just like this, kind of like ground beef. But you want to go in and season it to your liking. And look at that. I went ahead and removed it from the pan and drained it on some paper towel. That step is super important because, again, this is going on bread and you do not want to be biting into grease. So then for the second batch, once though that meat was draining on the paper towel, I went in with an onion and I just repeated the same steps. I went ahead and roughly chopped this up as well. And I added that to a pan with another bell pepper. I think I added a yellow bell pepper for this recipe. Yes, I did. You will see me chop that up as well. And I added that into the pan along with the onions. And then you will see the bell peppers and the onion continue to sweat down. Again, you want to cook them down. I typically add my seasonings to my bell peppers and the onions once they are in the pan, just so I won't over season them. And remember, you still have some flavor left over from that last batch, so you don't have to add as much seasoning as you did for the first one, because it's going to enhance it once the flavor from that other batch is still at the bottom of the pan. So make sure you're getting all of that in there. Then you want to go in with your steakum slices and add each individual slice one by one, just like I'm doing. And I did use the entire box again because we are making about a total of 50 sliders. So you're going to need the whole box because these are thin slices of meat. Then you want to go in and roughly chop it up. If you have a chopper, it's fine. I just used a fork. Same thing. Just don't scrape the bottom of your pan. And then it'll come out looking just like that. It's so flavorful. Y'all, I did not get to show y'all the absolute finished product because I was catering the event. I didn't put it together until I got there, but I did go ahead and split the Hawaiian rolls up into two halves just by cutting it straight down the middle, just like that. And then because I was traveling with the product, I just layered it with the provolone cheese. I added thin slices to it. Then I covered it up. These were going on top of a burner, so the cheese will melt as they're sitting on top of the burner. So I literally just added the provolone to the bottom, and then I cut up another half and added the provolone to the bottom half of those Hawaiian rolls, and that's how they came out. I didn't get the final video, but this was my brother's reaction to his surprise farewell party. Everyone enjoyed themselves, and all of that food got gone. And I will be showing the rest of the recipes later on. But if y'all do try this out, let me know in the comments. And I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Bye.